I cannot believe this. The Toronto Maple Leafs just won the 2026 draft lottery and will be selecting first overall at the 2026 NHL entry draft, where they are projected to select college phenom Gavin McKenna, who just put up 51 points in 35 games in his freshman season with Penn State University, as well as 14 points in 7 World Juniors games. McKenna was an absolutely clear consensus number 1, and that's a little bit up in the air right now, as there's been questions about his physical maturity and his off-the-puck game. However, as he continues to grow as a hockey player, and if the Leafs are able to potentially develop him correctly, he could be a franchise player for this team one day. It's been a wild few weeks for the Leafs as they fired GM Brad Treliving just before the end of the season and just recently announced the hiring of Matt Sundin and John Chayka. Chayka being the GM in a very controversial decision due to some reports that have come out in the past about his time in Arizona. The Leafs are in a strict timeline as Austin Matthews has 2 seasons left on his contract, and questions are starting to be asked about his future in Toronto. And they have limited time to work with to convince him to stay. He only scored 27 goals in 60 games this year before going down due to injury, and one of the reasons for that is likely due to the fact that he no longer is playing with an elite playmaker in Mitch Marner, and now the Leafs have another potential elite playmaker to play with Matthews in the future if they do select Gavin McKenna. And winning the lottery is absolutely massive for Toronto in their hopes of keeping Matthews. There's still a lot of work to do as Toronto will be without their first round pick in the next 2 seasons, and they're playing in the toughest division in the NHL, coming off their worst season in a decade. We don't know if Craig Berube will be back as head coach, as Toronto struggled immensely defensively this season, and Chayka will have to completely restructure what this team is, from coaching to the personnel, if Toronto wants to keep Matthews and Nylander and contend for a Stanley Cup. So let me know down below, what did you think of this NHL draft lottery? Do you think the Leafs will select McKenna? The Sharks also jumped to second, which was pretty crazy, and you have to feel bad for Canucks fans who fell to third. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.